On now, okay. I couldn't get in YouTube.
I want to get back to the YouTube chat. I want to ask my friends over there. They all like the same music I'm digging these days. There was a lot of Zach Williams fans. Now, you don't know who Zach Williams is, right?
I heard that
Big
name.
D?
No, never heard of him.
Okay. I don't think so. It's not even showing up. Here we are. Nope.
Fran, are we having issues tonight, or is it just me this time?
So the YouTube
We were having some issues earlier today, but nothing
look at-
specific.
Twilight in the YouTube says Comac Motor Inn. I pass it every day. Go to work. LOL. He knows. See, CMI.
Wait, on YouTube?
Look at that.
Erin was having some network issues with her Mac, so I don't know if it's a network thing or if it's something else.
All right, so YouTube is not going. Is that what I'm getting right now?
Should be.
Oh, here we are. It's not giving me a live update. I asked for the when we go live.
Did you sign in?
I want the updates. Yeah, of course.
Oh.
YouTube chat. Anybody know
Jack,
Larry
Jack.
Fleet?
Yeah, Larry Fleet, I know very well.
Yeah.
I'm seeing him in May. I love Zach too, Adele. That album, Rescue Story, from top to bottom, is pure perfection.
Adele?
In the chat. Anybody have any other rockin' sex? Hey, Catsby. Yahoo, must be conspiracy, Nolan. Yep. What's happening?
Renovating.
Howdy, Rumbler.
Well, actually, we're on LI News Radio tonight too. 103.9.
That's right.
No Islanders tonight.
Ticked off Patriot.
Islanders took off the rest of the season.
Hello, Lorraine Donato. How are you? David Wiles in the house.
David Wiles.
That Solids checking in.
Howdy, Twixers.
Can't wait. All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Slick's here. He's going to do sports, and he may start flying in the studio. He's so jacked up here tonight. Rick Delgado's going to do the news. Paul Nolan's got some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Trying to work out the technical issues here. I think we're back up streaming on everything. So if you're in there, make sure you let us know that, yes, you can hear and see us. And then hit the like and subscribe wherever you're watching on. We appreciate it as we continue to grow the socials. Make sure you head over to livefromstudio6b.com as well. I guess we'll go one more time here.
You're gonna go back to the well one more time,
I
huh?
just want to be honest.
Let's just try. Well, first of all, tell me if you've got any. Tell me if you have audio there, Aaron. Maybe
I
we
do,
can-
yes.
Okay, we do. So here we go. Let's just go. Here's the resistance.
Are you sure?
Yes.
This one. Hey, RFK, hands off the FDA. Hey, RFK, hands off the FDA. Hey,
They could use a toupee in the back of that head.
hands off the FDA.
That was awesome.
That was number one.
Where's Chuck Schumer when you need him?
Oh, he went out today, boy.
Not bad
He
for
sounded
first
dumber than
try,
ever.
huh? How about, hey, RFK, we remember JFK. Hey, RFK, we remember JFK.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, he sucks at this.
That is terrible.
JFK.
What a
That's right.
doofus.
John F. Kennedy,
Oh, that's
a champion
terrible.
of science, a champion of medical research. We are going to build up massive herd immunity to the fascists in America. That's what we're going to do.
He sucks.
People in the street.
So,
10 million.
well, I'd like to, let's see, do I get to introduce Glenn or no? Somebody else. You introduce him. All right, then.
Is that a
I leave you
yarmulke
with
in
my
the back of his
chance.
head,
Did you
or is
like
it a bald spot?
Hey, RFK.
Oh my God, here he goes again.
No, it's probably a yarmulke.
Hey,
Is that how you say, hey, he needs a toothpaste?
That's what it looked like from quickly.
That was funny. This guy's such a goof. Oh, now he's got his cheerleader, so it's going to go in.
There you go.
What's that? What is it? Honestly, what is it?
Where's Mad
45
Max?
people there?
There's the resistance for you.
That was wow. You know he was struggling for a rhyme with RFK, so he had to go with.
We remember JFK. Hey, that's a good one there, Raskin.
I'm just glad he didn't say something about tooth decay.
Wow.
Oh, that was
Amazing.
That was awful.
All right, let's do some sports. 19 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS 6B is the promo code to use. I mean, that is just so lame. It makes your hair hurt. Slick, what's going
Literally. Yeah, here we go. Big D. NCAA men's basketball Division I. Let's get caught up on the scoreboard. There's number 17 Kentucky right now leading Vandy of Vanderbilt 55-44. 13 to go in the second half. Also second half, 14 minutes to go. North Carolina all over NC State 67-43. Good one in Cincinnati and West Virginia. Cincinnati up by 2, 39-37, 13 to go there in the second. Arkansas taking on number 1 Auburn. Auburn's the number 1 team right now. 9 p.m. tip-off. We'll have some update on that. And number 4 Alabama, the Tide taking on Missouri. That's a 9 p.m. tip as well. St. John's and DePaul 9 p.m. as is Gonzaga and Washington State at 9 p.m. We got NBA action back in the action after the All-Star break. Hornets and Lakers, that's a 10 p.m. tip-off. And no hockey, obviously, tomorrow night's the big game. Thursday night, TD Garden, 8 p.m., USA, Canada for the All-In Nations 4 final. I can't wait for that game. As of 4 hours ago, Big D, I did check. President Trump is not confirmed to be at the game, nor is he denying that he's going to be at the game. So there's no confirmation yet out of the White House. We are keeping track of that because that would be something else if he does get to the game. That would be something like we've never seen. And speaking of President Trump, well, California strikes again. Christian girls basketball team forced to compete against transgender player as California defies Trump order. Paul Boy of Breitbart. A Christian girls basketball team in California will be forced to compete against a team with a transgender player as the state continues to defy President Trump's recent executive order banning males from women's sports. An upcoming high school girls basketball playoff game will feature an openly transgender athlete playing for San Francisco Waldorf against Cornerstone Christian on Saturday, reported Fox News. The same trans athlete player for Waldorf girls volleyball team this past fall, prompting Stone Ridge Christian to forfeit a playoff match. Though President Trump signed an executive order banning biological males from competing in women's sports, California says it will defy the order in accordance with the state's law. The CIF provides students with the opportunity to belong, connect, and compete in education-based experiences in compliance with California law, Education Code 221.5 F, which permits students to participate in school programs and activities, including athletic teams and competitions, consistent with the student's gender identity, irrespective of the gender listed on the student's records. The California Interscholastic Federation, otherwise known as the CIF, said in a statement, barring a Supreme Court decision or federal legislation, young girls in high school and middle school may still be subject to state law regarding transgender athletes in women's sports. The Trump administration's Department of Education, DOE, and the Office of Civil Rights have been investigating the CIF since it decided to defy the order. Cornerstone Christian said it will play the upcoming game against San Francisco Waldorf as scheduled. So here you go, Big D. California, right? Putting their, snubbing their nose at them. But we'll see what happens when that federal funds come due and they need to get that federal aid that they're supposed to get, right? That they desperately need. And I don't know how much, and I should look that up, how much of the actual school program is funded through federal government grants and funds. But I'm sure it's a significant enough amount of money that when they pull it back, well, they may be playing without jerseys altogether, but really just a shame to see this, that they're not following the executive order. But what do you expect, California? And then you dial it down San Francisco, and this is what happens. And these are obviously, I guess, religious schools, right? It's some kind of religious type of Catholic schools that are, or not Catholic school, but some type of schools, Christian schools that are doing this. So really a shame to see this. So, and that's a wrap in sports. That's all the good news I
don't want to steal a story from you in sports, but speaking of California in sports, did you see Chris Kluwe?
No.
So Chris Kluwe used to be the punter for the Minnesota Vikings, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he was arrested today and carried out by police during a city council meeting in Huntington Beach, California, as he protested a MAGA plaque. After giving his speech, Kluwe approached the Republican city council members calling for civil disobedience. He said, it's clear that this council doesn't listen, so instead I'm going to take my time to say what MAGA has stood for these past 3 weeks. MAGA stands for trying to erase trans people from existence. MAGA stands for resegregation and racism. MAGA stands for censorship and book bans, this idiot said. I will now engage in the time-honored American tradition of peaceful civil disobedience. Kluwe was then arrested and carried out. He was cited and later released. He spent nearly 4 hours in custody. And as I saw the story, the first comment underneath the story was, no wonder he was a punter.
Maybe it's time to get at Kluwe.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, Kluwe
Yes,
might want to get a
Kluwe's right.
Kluwe.
And who did he play for? Minnesota. Another
Yeah, right.
liberal
Too
state.
much time spent in that city. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or you got hit in the head too many times with the ball.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right.
Yeah, 3 career tackles, and this guy's a hero.
I mean, these city council meetings. Well, that looks like nothing compared to what we watched in Worcester, Massachusetts the other week. But these city council meetings, as you get around the country in these liberal places, in these liberal blue states and cities, they're just really just off the Richter scale, a lot of them.
Yeah, that's where the action is, though.
Yeah,
right?
that's where the action is.
And I love. What's the guy who shows up all the time? Alex Stein.
Yeah.
Shows up at those. Those are always fun. If he could show up at like every liberal city council meeting, then I would go. I would make it a point to either watch or try and get to as many as possible, because his 3 minutes, it's just a laugh riot every time he shows up. Hey, real quick, Damon, before we go to break, Rumble chat we have here from RSCRIV, RS Criv, $100.
What?
Look at that.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you all. You have provided me with many calm nights where I laughed. I am now in Colorado, usually tuned into live. Native of Western Pennsylvania, was married to a man from Berg for 25 plus years. His sibs love me more. So there you have it.
Okay.
A great, I guess a super chat you would call
Very
that.
generous.
A Rumble chat for $100. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for
We're gonna
watching.
have heat next month.
All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
I wouldn't go crazy.
Yeah. That was a follower from Texas.
Oh,
All right. It's from Texas.
Text.
Mm-hmm.
Is that from Plano, Texas?
Nope.
What about Plano,
It's from plain old Texas. I think Pearland or something.
You took my pen.
All right.
I'm gonna go get a.
All right, here we go. Hold Delgado.
Got it, Delgado. Delgado's on a mission. Oh, Sarcastic Prodigy gave us a $10 super chat in the YouTube, Big D. JFK wouldn't be welcome in the Democratic Party today. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Would not resonate with liberals today. How true is that? Thank you, Sarcastic Prodigy. Nice super chat in the YouTube. Wow. Yeah, their blanket. Look at that. They hand knitted those. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. That must be for me. That's got to be for me. That. Whoa, man.
Look at this.
Oh, man. Talk about Afghanistan. Woo. Beautiful. Look at. Whoa. Look at that red.
Is there one more in there?
There is. There should be 4. Is there one more in there? Oh, there's only 3 regulars.
Man, I got to get a regular job here again.
Look at this. Man, oh, man. Thank God got America's flag. I got America's team, baby. Right there. America's team. Hey, it all goes together.
I really hate to admit it. The Cowboys have great colors.
They do.
It disgusts
America's
me.
team, baby. Look at that. Oh, this is going right on your couch.
Look at these.
That is. Okay, you got it. I'm gonna. Nice. Look at that. Yeah. Whoa, look at that. That is living large, man.
Matches my shirt.
Wow. That does match your shirt, actually. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's nice. What's the lady's name? She reached out to me. I forget her name. Nice young lady.
I'm not going to let her. I'll try to read it. It's hard. Little writing's a little.
Oh. Is it?
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Damon, you look different from when we went to commercial break. Yes, I do. That is because during the commercial break,
He lost 12 pounds. Been on a
well, I
diet.
wish. We had a package here from one of our fantastic viewers in the live from Studio 6B audience, and we actually opened the box during the break.
What's in the box?
And the following letter, and it says, Rick, which I'm assuming is you, Emirati, because it was mailed to you, right, Slick?
Yeah.
My Rumble name is a combination of my two beloved dog names, Brownie and Bo. I've been enjoying y'all's show for quite a while now. I used to be on Getter as Brown Bo, but deleted my account quite some time ago. I am elderly, retired, and an avid crocheter. I made the Dallas Cowboys specifically for you and figured that Damon and Delgado could decide between themselves who gets which flag. I hope you like them. Thank you for providing me with an awesome show to watch each and every night. And I believe that's signed Leslie.
Wow. Congratulations.
So look at what Slick got.
Look at that.
I mean, look at what Slick
That's
got.
full on, man. That's
Go down a little bit, Slick. We don't need to. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it.
No, not that way.
Yeah, there you go. Dallas Cowboys. And Leslie sent two of these beautiful.
Yes.
Look at the 1776 in this thing too.
That is dope.
You got the 1776.
As the kids would say.
What's yours have?
I've got the
Oh, you
the
got this.
regular American flag.
Okay.
I want my 3%.
And Paul got a trunk mat. He can use that in his
Man, oh
trunk.
man, how beautiful.
Well, guys, the good news is, since this is a DEI show, I'm going to take one
I'm gonna share
third.
mine with you,
I'm going to
Paul.
take a scissor, and I'll just... No, I don't want to... I just want to cut a piece off of each one.
Okay.
So this way, it's... Nah,
You feel part of
it's
it.
not working.
Hey, Paul, Brownie Bo is in the Rumble chat, and she said that they will make you one.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
Thank you, Brownie.
There
Bo.
you go.
Yep.
So it's on its way, Paul.
Can I have 13 stars?
Well,
on
Brownie
mine?
Bo, thank you so much. This is absolutely beautiful.
That's really cool.
They are really beautiful.
Could you
They are.
imagine
Really
being able
well
to
done.
do that by
Gorgeous.
hand?
No,
That's
I
incredible.
can't imagine
That
the time.
is that velvet. It's beautiful. That's
So
nice. That is
absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, and we appreciate, of course, everybody in this fantastic audience. When things like this are just reminds us that people are real people out there, and whatever you love the show, like the show, hate the show, you're here every night, and we appreciate it that you give us a couple hours.
That's true.
And things like this are special, and they mean a lot, and we really appreciate it. We've gotten so many nice little things.
Yeah.
The cigar. I mean. All right.
You smoke those things already? You smoke them all?
All by yourself?
I can't smoke them when they're in customs.
Oh, that's
Slick.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, my goodness.
They're
Are
tied
you
up.
sure?
They're tied up in Canadian tariffs.
Thank
I know.
you.
All right.
33 past the hour. Let's do some news. And here with the news, with his new crocheted American flag,
Yes.
is the one Rick Delgado. What's going on, Delgado?
Well, first off, I'm very toasty right now, and I don't know.
Yeah,
if
wrap
I'll
it on
be,
your feet, why don't you?
I don't know if
No,
I'll
you
be
can't do
making a
that with
run.
the flag.
I don't know if I'll be making a run to the to exercise my 30th Amendment
They are
anytime
nice and
soon.
warm, too, right?
Yeah, they are. This is awesome. Unfortunately, we get to the news, and we've got another one for you there, fellas. Arizona midair collision over regional airport results in, results in 2 fatalities. A mid-air collision between 2 planes at a regional airport in Arizona killed at least 2 people earlier today. The deadly collision occurred at the Marana. I don't want to say marinara, but it's tempting to say. It's Marana Regional Airport, northwest of Tucson. Authorities confirmed that at least 2 people were killed, though they noted that details were limited as first responders were still working at the scene. The planes that collided midair were identified as a Cessna 17-2S and a Landcare 360 Mk2, both fixed-wing, single-engine aircraft, according to the NTSB. The agency said it is investigating the incident. There are 2 people on board the Landcare and 2 people on board the Cessna when the 2 planes collided at about 8:25 a.m. local time in Arizona. Police confirmed that 2 people on one of the planes had passed, while the other 2 were not injured. Police did not specify which plane the victims that died were on. Marinara Regional Airport is an uncontrolled field. So if the left is going to freak out about yet another quote-unquote airline crash or plane crash, they need to keep in mind that there are no traffic controllers here. It's basically an uncontrolled field, meaning it is an airport that does not have an active control tower. Instead, pilots use Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, CTAF, to announce their position to other pilots in the vicinity of the airport. It is the responsibility of the pilots in command to maintain self-distance from the other aircraft in the area. But, of course, the left is still freaking out about the crash. Senator Mark Kelly, the Democratic senator out of Arizona, says they fly out of this airport often, including just a few days ago. My thoughts are with everyone involved and their families. My team and I are tracking the incident and await for more incident information from the NTSB. A Delta Airlines flight from Minneapolis, you might recall, crashed just the other day and overturned while landing in Toronto. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you saw on CBS, Gayle King, she tried to blame a plane crash in Toronto on Donald Trump. Did you see this?
Yeah, I sent the slip to Fran. It's
Sick.
Cut number 3.
The Delta CEO she was with, right?
Right. She was with the Delta CEO. Here she is trying to make it seem like it was Trump's fault that a plane in Toronto, Canada actually crashed. Check this out, cut 3.
The Trump administration recently fired many employees of the FAA administration. Do those cuts worry you, and do you think that impacts the safety? I know you just said it's the safest way to travel, but after looking at all these mishaps, a lot of people are very nervous. Do these cuts affect you?
What a gaslighter.
The cuts do not affect us, Gail. I've been in close communication with the Secretary of Transportation. I understand that the cuts at this time are something that are raising questions, but the reality is there's over 50,000 people that work at the FAA, and the cuts, I understand, were 300 people, and they were in non-critical safety functions. The Trump administration has committed to investing deeply in terms of improving the overall technologies that are used in the air traffic control systems and modernizing the skies. They've committed to hiring additional controllers and investigators and safety investigators. So, no, I'm not concerned with that at all.
Ed, that didn't go well, did it?
Yeah, good for Ed, by the way.
That was right.
Let's just talk some actual, let's talk turkey on the NTSB and what's going on here, because you hear a lot of what Gayle King tried to get by with there as well. And I heard Eric Swalwell the other day. He texted something like this about no president has had more plane crashes in the first month. That's just not true. None of it is true. Gayle King's a gaslighter. Eric Swalwell's a gaslighter. See, the NTSB actually has an official database called CAROL. CAROL. You can actually go there and actually look at the actual aviation accident reports. And if you did that, you would see that so far there have been now 51 accidents since Trump was inaugurated. By contrast, the NTSB's recorded CAROL reporting system database has 94 aviation accidents during Biden's first month in office back in 2021. So same amount of time, 44 more recorded accidents or incidences. So it's just not true. But they won't do now. I didn't see that interview, but did Gayle King ask the Delta CEO why the pilot didn't have the wings flared for landing? I'll bet she didn't.
Probably not.
Did she ask who the pilots are, since we seemingly still don't know? I'll bet she didn't.
And if they were veterans, we would know already.
Did she ask them about some of the commercials that they put out about wanting to have all female pilots and make all this kind of crap during the year?
Nope.
I'll bet she didn't. No, she just wants to find a way to tie it to Trump.
Yep.
Because she's essentially a moron. And that's what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't. But you can actually go look at the data. Which, of course, why would we do that?
We're only
when
CBS.
we can just make stuff up.
Exactly. Amazing. But yeah, so there you have it from Gayle King, trying to, of course, as the rest of the media, try to tie every single thing that happens in the world to it must be Donald Trump's fault. Speaking of something that is Donald Trump's fault, it could be Stacey Abrams getting in trouble, and that could have something to do with being Donald Trump's fault. According to this, I don't know if you guys saw this, that little thing that Donald Trump started with Elon Musk called Doge. Well, they decided to do some looking, and guess what they found? According to EPA Chief Lee Zeldin, he found an extremely concerning revelation where Doge found $2 billion in taxpayer funds earmarked for Stacey Abrams-linked group. Believe it or not, the EPA, under the Biden administration, awarded Power Forward Communities the grant in April of 2024 as part of the agency's Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund program, which is, I guess, code for we're going to steal a lot of the American people's tax money and give it away to our friends. Power Forward Communities received the Green Energy Grant despite the fact that it was only founded a few months earlier in late 2023, never managed anywhere near the grant's dollar figure. It reported just $100 in total revenue during its first 3 months in operation, according to the latest tax filings. Yet, the Biden administration found it they must need more money and granted them $2 billion in taxpayer funds set aside for this quote-unquote nonprofit linked to Georgia Democratic candidate Stacey Abrams. Power Forward's community grant was one of just 8 greenhouse gas reduction fund grants that the EPA doled out in April of 2024 that altogether totaled $20 billion. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin announced it on February 13th that his staff and the Department of Government Efficiency officials, otherwise known as DOGE, discovered that the Biden administration parked at least $20 billion at this outside financial institution before leaving office, limiting the federal government's oversight to the program. So there you have it, another great thing. And Stacey Abrams could be in a little bit of trouble here. We'll have to see what else they uncover in terms of what is being done with, or what has been done with some of that money. But from what I understand, it's just been parked there for now.
And who's this? Stacey? Who?
Stacey Abrams.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the witch hunter.
I thought you said Abrams for a second. I was thinking of the girl in Georgia, but no. Okay.
No, it is Stacey Abrams. Did I say Adams?
You
just
said Adams.
Twice. Yeah.
It's
back to back.
You know what? I misread it.
Okay.
It's Stacey Abrams. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Abrams.
I thought maybe this
The
was
witch hunter.
to the mayor of New York City's wife or something. Adams.
Stacey Abrams. Sorry about that.
Gotcha.
I got Mayor Adams on the brain because there's a great clip of him. He's under fire all over the place.
Yeah, he ripped into the media today, boy. It was funny.
Yeah.
See, you have that clip?
Yep.
Oh, that's a good
So
one.
we'll get to that in just a little bit. So yeah, we'll see what else they're starting to freak out about next, because again, as we go along here, Doge is finding more and more stuff, and as the administrators like Lee Zeldin starts to peel through. Now remember, they were throwing gold bars off the Titanic. They described this as to James O'Keefe, and this is what they found so far. So much more coming up as Doge continues to do a little bit of auditing and find out where all our taxpayer money is going to.
U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says Trump's goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service. That tonight on social media. Don't know how much truth there is behind that, but that's out there tonight from about 21 minutes ago. And we've talked about how he's walked up to the line about this a couple times, but that's kind of still left it in a gray area. We'll see if that becomes not so gray over the next 6 months or so. All right, live from Studio 6B. We'll wrap up hour one when we get back right after this.
Oh yeah, and she turns.
Apparently,
she works
she's a
for one
big
of the-
time.
Yeah.
She's been a political writer for for all kinds of magazines and rags like Politico, and all part of that. What is that? That U.S. Nation. That's the thing. $467 million was funded by USAID for just propaganda around the world. It's all part of the Clinton Foundation and Soros' Tides Foundation. Did you guys talk about the Doge finding like almost 20 million people over 100 years old?
Yeah, we covered that all last night.
So now if you search that on Google, I don't know if you guys have messed with that, the propaganda machine, every single story, tens of millions of dead people aren't getting Social Security checks because the AP News owned the operation. They're corrupted. News Nation, Elon Musk's frauds and fears, are they a real concern? Nope, not at all. ABC News, Musk misreads Social Security data. Millions of dead people are not getting benefits, experts say. It's every single one of these. It's gangbusters of propaganda. You can't get a story that's in agreement with it until page 3, which just tells you how Google still hasn't kind of changed its tune yet.
We have a super chat on Rumble from Barb JS1, $100.
Wow.
To LFS6B, our favorite news and humor show.
Oh, thank you, Barb.
Beautiful.
Wow. Thank you.
Barb JS1, LFS6B, our favorite news/humor show. Thank you, Barb.
That's incredible.
Appreciate that. Appreciate all super chats on all platforms. It really goes to support the show.
I do enjoy the fact that Rumble's super chats are called rants.
Is that what they're called? Rants?
Yeah, they're called rants.
So we should call them what they are, not super chats, because that's YouTube. So rants. Okay.
Super chat and rants. I like that.
These are awesome.
They are really.
They are awesome.
They are made very well.
I mean, they're just they look so like tight, and the material's incredible.
This took a while to handmade.
But is that velvet? It's beautiful. This is nice, man.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night, February 19th. Glad you're in. Wherever you're watching the show, we appreciate it. If you're watching on social media, make sure you follow us on whatever platform you're watching on, at LFS6B, pretty much everywhere. And, of course, head over to livefromstudio6b.com and make sure you become a member there. If you have a Facebook or Google account, you can sign up real easy, real fast. Make sure you're a member there, because that's the one place you can always find us. All the old shows, all the old Crazy Towns, What Even Is That? So all of our news, all of our merch, everything in one place over at livefromstudio6b.com. So make sure you sign up to be a member there. I watched Trump and Elon last night after I got home. Did you guys? Anybody
No, I
else
didn't get a
watch it?
chance to see it.
I did.
I watched it.
I did.
I watched it. I mean,
Nothing burger.
I thought they were great. The host was
He's
just
a
was
boss.
awful.
Yeah, he.
Oh
yeah.
my God! Shut up and get out of the way
He
and let him
can't do
talk.
it. He's such a blowhard. He can't get out of the way.
Oh no.
I've never felt that as much as others have always said that and felt that around me, and they always say, "Wah," you know. Oh, I'm so with you after last night. Now it was awful.
Well, because before every question, you're getting 2 or 3 paragraphs.
Oh,
And it's just, dude, just get to the question.
it was so bad. I mean, Trump and Elon were so good when they finally had a chance to talk. Their back and forth is so funny. Trump and Elon, they're almost like brothers.
Yeah.
Like Elon jokes about, I want to go to. He says some joke about I want to be the first one to touch Mars. I just don't want it to be on impact.
Yeah, right.
And Trump laughed such a genuine laugh that it was like, if you know what I'm saying, it was like, you're hanging with your guys and somebody legit says something funny, just the way you just like Trump laughed, this real laugh that was so funny to watch.
And they're so genuinely respectful of one another. It's amazing. They both they put each other on the same level, which I really think is so nice.
I thought that Hannity did a nice job of. He said the liberal media is trying to pit you guys against each other. How do you feel about that? Are you aware of it? And they openly discussed it. It was laughable. Yeah. And it's, they're just doing anything they can, and it's so transparent.
I like the shirt. Tech support. I love that.
Oh, my God. This is it right in front of me. This is the clip. It's right in front of me. I'm telling my computer listens to me. No, there's someone spying on us.
Oh, no,
this is literally right in front of me as I say this.
He's going to go into orbit soon.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he's going to go to Mars. He's
Starlink at some point. Huh? Yeah. Is it they was asking like, do you want to die on Mars? And I say, well, yes, but not on impact.
Starlink is in 100 countries. This is going to be hard. I feel like I'm interviewing the two brothers.
It's so funny the way the genuine laugh that Trump gives him. It's so funny. It's like
he's going to take Delgado with him when he goes to Mars. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, Delgado's already been there, so he could show him the way.
He lives there half the year.
He's there half the day every day, so he could just let him know how to what's the best route to get there.
That's why I was late today.
Late getting
he has
back.
An impact every day.
Exactly. So, all right, let's do some sports. 10 minutes to the hour as we wrap hour one. Sports is brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell and My Pillow. MyPillow.com/LFS6B for all the best deals for this audience. And there are some great deals on our page. I went through it yesterday. There's some great deals. Mike's got his cross chain that's out now. The My Cross is out. The mattress topper is a great deal on the mattress topper. There's some great deals on that page. MyPillow.com/LFS6B, promo code LFS6B at checkout. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, well, we're talking about this big game tomorrow night, the build-up, and an ESPN broadcaster's plea for American fans ahead of Four Nations final versus Canada. Let's be better than that. Canadian fans have booed the American national anthem before multiple games. This is Paulina Dadage of Fox News. Paul was just talking about this, right? ESPN broadcaster Sean McDonough, who will be inside the booth for Thursday's Four Nations Face-Off Championship game, is calling on Team USA fans to be better than that, referring to the anticipation that fans will retaliate against Canada for booing the American national anthem during the tournament. During an appearance on WEEI on Tuesday, the veteran play-by-play commentator said he hopes the crowd will help support Team USA as they take on Canada in the final in Boston on Thursday night. I hope the home crowd has a lot to do with it. I hope that it helps spur on Team USA, he said. However, McDonough immediately followed with a plea to fans not to boo the rival team's national anthem, something Canadian fans have done before 2 games, including Sunday's 3-1 win by the Americans. I really hope our people don't boo the anthem. Let's be better than that, he said. I think we all have a lot of respect for what a great country Canada is. The political things that have led the Canadians recently, the booing of the anthem is a very recent development. I think we know why. I understand it from their perspective, especially having been up there for several days. McDonough referred the heightened tensions between the U.S. and Canada, which have centered around President Donald Trump's talk of tariffs and turning Canada into the 51st state, which I don't think is a bad idea.
Paul's got the best idea here.
Yeah.
Like he said the other night.
Just sing it.
Yeah.
Sing "Oh Canada."
Yeah.
Sing it on just take over a cappella, let the whole crowd do it, and it's like hot coals on your
Exactly. Nails on a blackboard, right? A potential appearance from Trump at Thursday night's final could add to the excitement. Team USA General Manager Bill Guerin said he would welcome a visit from the sitting president. We would love it if President Trump was in attendance, Guerin said during an appearance on America's Newsroom on Monday. We have a room full of proud American players and coaches and staff. And listen, we're just trying to represent our country the best way we can. So, but we're looking forward to that game. We will be watching it tomorrow night with the audience. Obviously, we'll have it on here and we'll keep you up to date with the scores. I think it's going to be a watch party tomorrow night, boys. Really want to see it. Big D, don't be throwing stuff or cursing now on the show. I know you get excited about this.
I do.
I know you do.
I mean, I was yelling at the TV last weekend.
Saturday night, I was out of my mind. I was jumping up and down with the birds. We were going crazy watching.
When was the last time you guys saw the movie Miracle?
We were just talking about it last night. You know, Vin's a producer on that. He has a producer credit on Miracle. He worked on it. Yeah,
that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's
right?
cool.
Yeah, Jim Craig.
I haven't watched it in a long time, but we just talked about it last night. Actually,
every time I had kids on my way to a hockey tournament in the car, the DVD players would be in the car back in the day.
Oh yeah,
that movie was on every single trip. I can recite the whole thing at one point.
The Herb Brooks speech. I mean,
He's great.
Micah Ruzioni. Oh,
Yeah.
those guys were epic.
How funny is it that everybody still thinks that's the gold medal game?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no,
many
you're
people
right.
forget.
It was that Sunday game, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. That was, that was like I don't want to say fait accompli, but it was like kind of like it wasn't, we were excited they won the goal, but after Friday night when they beat the Russians, it almost didn't matter. It did because they wanted to get the goal bite, but man, that was just an incredible.
100%.
I remember
You remember just the geopolitical climate at the time and the Iran, contra all the hostages and
Friday night.
Carter failing so miserably for so long and Reagan coming in.
Friday night, February 24th, 1980. Remember that date like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
Incredible.
I think it's the greatest moment in American sports.
Almost to the day this game will be played, which is amazing.
Maybe Jesse Owens, so.
Yep, that's a wrap, Big D. Back to you.
And how does Al Michaels sound exactly the same?
He does.
He does, right?
That would be my question.
Do you believe in
kind of
miracles?
AIG?
Yes.
What's going on there?
He is so good at his job. I mean,
Well, Amazon now.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
He's got some dark magic working for him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's amazing.
Sounds
He really
exactly
is.
the same.
Yeah.
So,
Great Al Michaels.
all right, Slick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. We will be watching the boys from America tomorrow night in that game while we're on the air here. So we'll see. So you got CPAC all day.
It's going to be a tough game.
And then you got us tomorrow night with the game on. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be tough for them to beat them twice. That would be
I'm uneasy.
sour taste in your
Vin
mouth
be in
to
tomorrow
lose
night?
that game tomorrow night.
is Vin going to be here tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to come tomorrow night and watch the game too?
Yeah, maybe I can watch
All right,
the game.
come on. We can put
Paul, you got to come. I'll sit.
More the merrier, Paul.
I'll sit in the sucker seat.
We'll set you up
I'll
right
sit in
here,
the kid's seat in the middle just so you can get on here. You sit in my seat because you're a big hockey fan as
Everybody,
I am, if not
we'll
bigger.
all wear our red, white, and blue.
Then we
I
need
wear my
food.
USA hockey jersey.
I got to
What
see
are we
if I
gonna
have
eat?
anything red, white, and blue.
What are we going to eat?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We'll decide in the commercial.
Well,
Nacho Thursday. Aaron, you are correct.
Boston cream donuts. That's not
Nacho
Big D,
Thursday.
Boston cream donuts.
yeah, hot dogs and cheeseburgers, pals. Come on.
And nachos.
It's all American.
Exactly.
Nachos?
We're all American.
Barbecue King.
we're not getting
What?
Chinese food either. No kung pao chicken.
Yeah, no MSG.
Well, we don't own
I can't get
Mexico
that on
yet?
cable anymore. Paul, you see
hell are you
Optimum?
talking about?
No MSG. It's like a Chinese restaurant.
Real quick.
You know what, Aaron? We're getting nachos.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
You're not. They're not allowed in the studio.
They are allowed.
No, they're not.
Yes, they
Wait,
are.
what's happening?
Not American. It's not all American.
Yes, it is.
What if I bring All American Burger in here? You guys ever have All American Burger? Down in
course.
Massapequa?
Of course.
What if I bring like?
All American. That's what it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bring All American.
You gotta bring hot dogs too. Come on, they make.
I don't think so.
That's a nothing burger. Those burgers.
You got to bring all American burgers and fries, and maybe a couple hot dogs. They make good hot dogs.
Do they?
Yeah,
I'll bring Knishes, no hot dogs.
Knishes. That's Canadian.
It is? All American. All right. No.
Why, you want me to get White Castle on my way in? I could do that.
I'd like to survive this.
Now I might have committed to coming in. Did you see this? I'm going to do this story. I hope you're not doing this one too.
No, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I had the Gail King. I didn't. That's the. I really do want to try to. One of the things. Oh, this is killed. I'd like to contact you a little bit beforehand, but I'm always so busy. You're always so busy. I know.
I was especially swamped today writing
That will figure. It
what
doesn't
even is
matter.
that for Friday.
I don't know. Do you follow Glenn
Greenwald?
Greenwald at all? He did a really good bit on Anonymous did. I'm sorry, not Anonymous. WikiLeaks did a phenomenal report on the. Come on, shut up. On the all the corruption of the USAID money. It was so complex. I wish I had like an hour today to kind of lay it out and do the story, but I didn't get done working until like 5:30. And then when I got home, it kept me up.
Still got you still got pink eye going on there?
I wish it was pink eye. At least there'd be a solution. This thing just got to wait it out.
He was. His wife had him using it. It was working, and then he got home and he stopped doing it. Right? Is that what you said?
Oh,
the eye thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I started doing it. It's helping.
All right. Good. Because I heard you say that the other day.
Oh yeah.
My wife had me.
I'm like a 14-year-old boy. Without my wife help me, I'm a dead man walking. I'm not even kidding. She's like every day on vacation. Here, put this here, put it on you. Keep bringing a new one over. Second thing I don't take care of myself at all.
Does she have wipes just in case you make it messy?
You spying on me? There's no.
Hour 2, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night, February 19th. Real America's Voice and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. Rick Delgado's doing the news. Slick's doing sports. Paul Nolan's here is going to do some news as well. Coming up here in just a second. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Lots to get to in hour 2. I heard the president talk about this last night in his interview with Elon Musk about, yes, the executive orders are all well, fine, and good, but Congress has got to get on the ball and codify a lot of this. So Logan Washburn wrote about this in the Federalist today. Congressional Republicans must codify Trump's executive orders to make them permanent. So we'll talk about that here in hour 2. We'll do sports. We'll do news. But Paul Nolan's here right now. Mr. Nolan, what's been on your mind in the news?
Well, you know how I feel about 60 Minutes and the relentless propaganda machine. What I call CBS, I call it, CBS, because it never stops it. So if you saw, there was a special presentation of Doge's destruction of the United States Agency and the International Development, showcased Christina Dry, a federal worker who innocently portrayed herself as a working stiff, unsure of where her next paycheck would come from after it was announced that all but 290 of the USAID's 10,000 employees would be laid off. Her eyes glistened on the verge of tears as she told an interviewer how her former colleagues' bills for daycare and Medicare treatment would now go unpaid. And she was very sympathetic and an absolutely heartbreaking performance. And she went on with Scott Pelley, who described the chaotic shutdown of foreign aid by Doge head Elon Musk and President Trump, who both accused the pork-laden agency of doling out taxpayer dollars on woke agenda items. And it's all been a rough and rugged smear campaign, and this poor victim. Could you roll that clip for me, sir?
Sure.
Really scared, and they had to leave the building, and they were never able to walk back in the building again. Doge was in the building. We took down our pride flags. I took out any books I felt would be incriminating. No one was talking. We heard they started taking transcripts automatically of all of our Google Meets. They unplugged the news in the little kitchen galleys. It didn't feel good. And then Saturday, all of the websites went down, and then I lost complete access to my computer.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to just go, as it turns out, Dry and her counterpart on the show, former USAID worker Adam Dubert, are also employees. They were also consultants and hired at an agency that worked directly in the propaganda machine as writers in the anti-Trump campaigns. And she had been a speechwriter for Barack Obama as well. So this is another example of the worst propaganda and the worst form of television, which is 60 Minutes, a complete disgrace to the fabric of America.
And so the thing is that she wasn't a USAID employee. Is that the story?
Well, she was, but, she wasn't she was an upper echelon, high paid executive. She wasn't some working stiff. They made her out to be, some kind of they just portrayed her completely fake, and she put on a phenomenal performance, a lot better than Tom Hanks's performance on the SNL bit. So, it's just more BS. They just propped it up the wrong way.
60 Minutes claims that Christina Dry was fired this month in the chaotic shutdown of USAID. Fact check. Christina Dry wasn't even USAID employee. She worked for XLA and Jefferson Partners that provided speechwriting services for USAID Administrator Samantha Power. And we know that name very well, Samantha Power. She's been knee-deep in all kinds of stuff. Well, this is 60 Minutes, right? I mean, this is the same people who are willing to take out an answer, a word salad from the former vice president of the United States, and put an answer in that she said 20 minutes later in the same interview that didn't have anything to do with the question. So if you're willing to do that and get caught by the current president of the United States, who's now suing you over it, there is no bottom.
No, there is no bottom. It's a CIA mouthpiece. It's all it ever was. It's a disaster of a magazine, because that's what they are. They're a news magazine now. They're not a news show.
And as Carrie Lake said, 60 Minutes tried to pass off this woman who helped give voice to all of the agency's corruption as the common civil servant, which
nothing uncommon about her job.
Not quite.
No.
So, all right, Paul, anything else in the news?
There was, you sent me something, and there was a few other things that I had here. To me, I just thought this was very, very interesting. The two FBI has just thwarted two teams were arrested in Houston who were about to shoot up a school. So the FBI Houston arrested two underage suspects accused of plotting a mass casualty attack at a local school. Authorities say teens from Willis High School and Spring Branch ISD were identified through online threats. Montgomery County Sheriff's Office confirms both suspects are in custody as investigators review the evidence. Officials urge violence, stressing the threats of violence at our schools will not be tolerated. So this is a pretty interesting story that's just breaking now. And it
all reminds us of how important it's going to be to get Kash Patel in there. And it looks like the vote's going to be tomorrow afternoon, about 1:30 or so. I believe the vote passed cloture. We're now in that 30-hour window, so I believe they think it's going to be about 1:45, 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. We should get a final vote on Kash Patel, and I believe from everything I've heard, the votes are there.
So can I ask you a question? They're getting away with a lot of this delaying and slowing down the process. And
procedural, yes. Procedural nonsense.
Okay, so some of it I wasn't following close enough and didn't honestly understand. What was some of the issues they were getting away with, dragging this through the mud? Now, was this just a delay tactic?
Just procedural things that they can do that are on the books that they can do. One member can do one member can delay. One member, all these. Yep.
Was this so the upper echelon of the FBI can get their story straight for when he gets in there and starts ripping people apart?
No.
You don't think this was like some kind of nefarious...
Democrats on the committee using procedural things that are at their disposal to just delay the vote because they just don't want to see him get confirmed, even though in the end there's nothing they can do to stop it.
Okay.
But this is what they do. When they're not in power, they're in power. When they're in power, they're in power. That's the way it goes with Democrats. Republicans, you don't see move procedurally like this when it comes to things.
Well, the Republicans really were the uniparty establishment scams who did more damage, to conservatism than we've ever seen in our lifetime. So, it's good to see the MAGA movement is not the old Republican RNC. So the old guard is almost gone. So
it's kind of like, the old guard is not gone yet that needs to be gone is someone like, I don't know, John Cornyn. How about him? He should be gone. As he's out there tonight talking about, Trump might be pushing the limits of his constitutional power by Doge and all of this, all of the things they're doing. This is what we're dealing. This is what I've complained about most of all in 10 years of doing this show is people like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
when they're in power, they're not in power. When the Democrats are not in power, they're in power because they never act like this. They don't have their own that jump out of line and go rogue like a John Cornyn does tonight. Oh, President Trump's testing the limits of his congressional power with Doge. Really? We got to see where the courts fall. Oh, yeah, that's just what we need, to see where the courts fall. John Cornyn's fine with some rogue judge deciding for 330 million people that something's not going to happen. He thinks it's great. He has no problem with it. He is the absolute thing that the Republicans need to rid themselves of moving forward. Mitt Romney-esque, squishy, soft, pathetic Republicans. And that's exactly where he falls and has always fallen. And then he tries to have these little moments like all of them do, all of the real weakest ones, like Lindsey Graham. Nice to see the president finally speak out against Lindsey this morning. See his truth about Lindsey? No. Singling Lindsey Graham out, that lame-o. He needs to do the same with Cornyn, too. The president's testing the limits of his constitution. Really? How exactly is he doing that?
He sounds just like a Democrat, doesn't he?
Just unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, that's what they are, really. Because they're playing along with the Democrats, they might as well be Democrats because they support all the stuff they do because they know they're going to get a little taste themselves, right? And the reason why and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, why would you start to see the swampy Republicans start to get a little nervous about DOJ? Because they're now pointing towards the Department of Defense, the Pentagon. They got a lot of projects and a lot of things that they get funded.
So much waste to the
exactly,
Pentagon.
but a lot of these things that they get kicked back to their
without a doubt,
to their areas. They're like, well, you can't affect my money. Don't affect my money.
Without a doubt.
That's why he's nervous.
Listen, this is going to get hairy. This is going to get crazy. There's no question about it.
By the way, I guess what I said before is it's not hearsay. Howard Lutnick actually was on TV and said this. He was on with Jesse tonight. President Trump's goal is to eliminate the Internal Revenue Service and let outsiders pay. So get ready to ramp up the tariffs if that's the plan, because if he's serious about going back to a time that he references when the country was tariff heavy and no federal income tax and no IRS. Boy, that's interesting.
Yeah. See
if he could really make a play for that. Then this is what we said. Was it with you, or I said it last night with Vin? I think it was you. You said the External Revenue Service. You like the idea of it, right?
I absolutely do.
And I said I like the idea of it too. If it's in replacement of the Internal Revenue, we don't need another government bureaucracy. But if it's in replacement of that, that's a good place to start.
Yeah. Especially with how corrupt the tax laws are, and it's been a disaster for 60 years now. And and it was never a good thing when it was supposed to be a temporary thing just on the rich. The whole thing is part of this fiat money scam. So to me, that machine has gotten so bloated. It's another one of those entities that think it doesn't have to answer to anybody but its own self, and that it's this autonomous monstrosity that can't be stopped. And to me, watching them get knocked down and watching these institutions that have run roughshod over the American people's tax dollar and liberty, this is better than I expected. I really can't.
Hey, Aaron, give me a little audio here. I don't need video. Give me just audio if you can. This is the audio clip of that. Let's listen.
Think about it. Donald Trump announces the External Revenue Service, and his goal is very simple: his goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and let all the outsiders pay. I mean, this is someone who is focused on America. Let's drive down our waste, fraud, and abuse. I'll give you an example. Cruise ships. You ever see a cruise ship with an American?
Okay, so we can listen to the rest of it later, but there you go. So that was actually tonight.
Wow. That's seismic.
I mean, that's the first time we've heard, like I said, President has kind of walked up to the line about it, talked about tariffs a lot, talked about an older time in the country where tariffs were where the country was rich because of tariffs and with no federal income tax, but he never really said that Howard Lutnick now says tonight.
Yeah. What's crazy is now tomorrow you're going to see the screaming at the sky, clutching of the pearls by the Democrats. Somehow they're going to jump out and say, no, we have to continue to tax the American people. I wonder if that will be as popular as abolishing the IRS. I'm going to say, I don't think so.
All right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B Sports and News. Coming up when we get back right after this.
Rick, you're the best, man. I love him. Yeah, all right, so there's been a lot of stuff. Just so you know, I believe that this sty happened from doing tile work without goggles. Sometimes I get a little, so I believe I got messed up that way, and then just not sure. But it's definitely a sty, and it's not pink eye, and I've done a very good job of avoiding it. And since the last 2 days, I have used the warm compress as often as I can. So it feels like it's getting better, but it certainly does stink. Some of the funny comments in here while I'm on my own. Someone said, did Paul get pepper sprayed by a lib? That's very believable. That could be it. I saw several jokes about a tea bag. I'm not going to repeat those, but those are funny. Slick. So, yeah, I'm working on it, guys. I think that you got to see the coffee station I did on this house. It's just wrapping up now. I want to send you the pictures. And
Coffee?
I'm going to need you to be my social media guy.
I'm for hire.
Cool.
$2,200 a week.
Your first job to be do these reads here.
Oh, that's a low.
Aaron, don't add to it.
Delgado's laughing too.
How many reads tonight?
Too many.
7?
No, 2. AMAC Birch Gold.
Let Dave Syverson do it on X. He's going to do it. Call him up.
They got to be doing good Birch Gold now. Wow, right? Everybody's buying gold.
Shut up, Slick. You idiot.
Fool's gold.
Birch Gold and AMAC.
AMAC. Andy.
I love Andy.
Yeah, he's great. He really is good, Andy. Ellie H wants to know, Paul, do you build homes?
Yes, that's what I do.
Paul builds on your dreams, right?
And my goal is, you guys I want to hear in the chat. My goal is, and the more I speak it, the more I pray to God that it can happen. I would really like to, within the next 4 years, really 3, build a community for adults with special needs and autism who have no parents to take care of them, they have nowhere to go, and build some kind of a community. That's what I'd like to do. So I'm going to need you over there, Chamber of Commerce.
It's very interesting what you say. I can't get into it right now, but there's something there to that.
I'll sound like the blues, 17 past the hour. Let me talk to you about our friends over at AMAC. If you're looking for a voice that truly represents your values, well, AMAC is it. The Association of Mature American Citizens was created to champion the needs of Americans who believe in faith, family, and freedom. With over 2 million members, their mission is simple but powerful: to protect the interests of all freedom-loving Americans, safeguarding Social Security and Medicare, and advocating for common sense policies in Washington, D.C. AMAC members gain access to incredible member benefits, including the award-winning AMAC magazine, from exclusive discounts on travel, insurance, and everyday services, to a strong voice in Washington. AMAC is here to make a difference in your life and in the life of the nation. Joining AMAC isn't just about benefits, though. Regardless of your age, it's about belonging to a community that stands for timeless American values. And in honor of President Trump's first 100 days in office, right now, AMAC is offering an incredible deal. Enroll in a 5-year AMAC membership, 5 years, for 47% off. Hello! 47% off. Normally $60. If I told you could do anything for 5 years for $60, you'd look at me and go, what? What are you talking about? Can't do anything for 5 years or get anything for 5 years for $60. That's like 3.5 coffees at Starbucks. What are you talking about? How about a 5-year membership to AMAC for $60? That's what it used to be. Right now, it's $32. $32. 47% off right now. Go to amac.us/Studio6B. amac.us/Studio6B right now. Take advantage of the special offer, amac.us/Studio6B. Join AMAC and become a member of the movement that stands for you, your family, and your future. Man, that's a great deal. All right, let me talk to you about our friends over at Birch Gold. Have you seen the news from economists forecasting a depression? I said depression, not recession. Depression by the year 2030. Well, we're in the perfect storm, Social Security and Medicare hit a breaking point with the largest generation hitting retirement. A smaller workforce means a smaller tax base. Pair that with a growing national debt, rising cost of living, and, well, that's a mixture for a huge problem. So what do you do now? What are you going to do to protect yourself, protect your family, protect your future? Well, gold. It's a safe haven in hard economic times, and Birch Gold makes it easy to diversify a portion of your savings into physical gold. Birch Gold will help you transition any existing IRA or 401k that you might have sitting around collecting dust, doing nothing. Well, convert it into an IRA in gold. It doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket to do it. Protect your future today. Text America to the number 989898. Get your free information kit on gold. And you can get a copy of The Ultimate Guide to Gold in the Trump Era. It's a book with a foreword written by Donald Trump Jr. There's no obligation, only information. Birch Gold has earned the trust of countless Americans looking to safeguard their savings. You too can count on Birch Gold. Text America to the number 989898 and do it today. All right, 20 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you shop at MyPillow. If you're shopping for Easter or a birthday, or you just need a better night's sleep and you need that MyPillow, you're not sleeping on a MyPillow, you're not sleeping as well as you could be. And if you're not sleeping on a mattress from MyPillow or a mattress topper, you're probably not sleeping as well as you should be. Your sleep's important for you to function throughout the day. Go to MyPillow.com. Use code LFS6B at checkout. Slick Rick, what's going on?
All right, Big D. Well, Donald Trump's verdict on attending USA hockey final against Canada revealed after team urged him to come. Now, I'm not so sure how reliable this source is, the Daily Mail, but here we go. Donald Trump does not plan to attend the USA hockey team's championship game against Canada in Boston this week, according to reports. The matchup between USA and Canada comes amid rising tensions between the two nations after Trump recently threatened to impose tariffs on the latter. The two nations played out a brutal game in Montreal on Saturday, which saw 3 fights inside the first 9 seconds. Emotions were running high throughout after Canada fans in front of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau furiously booed the Star-Spangled Banner as it played during the pregame. Ahead of Thursday's championship game in Boston, USA Hockey's general manager Bill Guerin urged President Trump to cheer them on from the stands amid the rivalry with Canada. Yet, according to hockey insider Frank Saravalli, which is a very reliable source, the 78-year-old currently has no plans to be there. So doesn't look like, as of now, President Trump is going to be at the TD Garden tomorrow night in Boston for the 8 p.m. puck drop, unfortunately. But they'll be still doesn't change much. The environment's going to be crazy. They're going to be going wild. And you never know with the president. He could change his mind at any minute, get on a plane. Boston from D.C., if that's where he is at the White House.
Skip and a jump.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about? 45-minute flight? Hour flight tops?
There's a flu bug going through, though, Team USA, from what I understand. Tage Thompson, who my son played with, and the family is a beautiful family, by the way. The whole family is just incredible people, good Christians, and they just reported that Tage Thompson is on his way to Boston, as is Quinn Hughes, because the flu bug is ripping through the team. We might be missing Brady Tkachuk tomorrow.
That'll be a big loss for them.
It might be
Definitely.
both Tkachuk brothers out, so we'll see.
Not good. Oh, that's terrible. So we will obviously have that here on the show. We can't wait. We're going to have a watch party. But as of now, President Trump not scheduled to be there. But again, the president. Anything could happen. And one more quick story. FBI details how selfies helped nab Chilean gang allegedly targeting pro athletes. Todd Roberson of ESPN. According to the FBI, burglars who recently targeted famous athletes such as Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Joe Burrow bounced from city to city using cars they rented with fake IDs. They ditched the cars as needed, along with burner phones they used to coordinate with each other. They'd hide in the woods while monitoring the patterns of security guards, then break into the homes of wealthy athletes by breaking small windows or prying open sliding doors before converting jewel-encrusted watches, designer bags, gold chains, and rings into cash using loot launderers far from their victims. Their booty had an estimated value of about $3 million taken from some of America's best-known athletes, but the 7 Chilean burglars burglars who targeted this. Those are Chilean burger. Targeted the star athletes over 3 months late last year. Also made some rookie mistakes that allowed law enforcement to eventually catch up, as detailed in a 20-page criminal information sheet released by the FBI on Wednesday. In the document, the FBI lays out how the gang members were undone by allegedly posting photos of co-conspirators to see via an iCloud site. Images obtained and released by the FBI show 3 of the alleged burglars, along with an unidentified 4th man posing with watches, apparently stolen from the home of Milwaukee Bucks forward Bobby Portis Jr. Largely because of the images, the men were in federal custody and have been charged with conspiracy to commit interstate transportation of stolen property. They could face up to 10 years in prison. So I guess the athletes are breathing a little easier, but we were complaining. Why don't they? I mean, if I had that kind of money, I'd have a guy with a machine gun sitting on my couch protecting my house, especially with my wardrobe. You know, I don't mess around, big deal.
Yeah,
so come on, as it is. I just have a wife that stays home all the time with a speed dial to the police if I have to worry about anything. No, I'm only kidding. But that's a Rapid Sports Big D. I'll throw it back to you.
You wouldn't be standing in front of that house. You'd be standing in front of your the closet, the door to your closet.
That is like a
The rest
safe.
of the house, go ahead, but not here.
Yeah.
This is where I draw the line.
You got to see the shoe cabinet I did. I'm gonna put that on social media.
The
when
door
I'm getting ready.
to Amel DeMarcos is
It's like a vault.
That's it.
vault.
You
That's
gotta-
where Slick draws the
Yeah,
line.
you got to dial in the combination, and
That's
then
it.
of course, and then you pull it open and all.
And then you're
the
shoeing.
shoes.
Yep.
You actually got a choir that says, "Oh," as the door opens. Yeah.
That choir's got soul, Big D. I'll tell you that.
All right, Slick, very good. Speaking of taxes, by the way, you know we didn't do a follow up on what happened in Florida after we were yelling and screaming about the immigration bill. Well, of course, the governor ended up getting the rhinos in the Republican legislature there. I mean, they don't say they half rolled over, but they rolled over basically and gave it back to the governor to control immigration. The governor signed the bill, I believe, last week. Probably the strongest immigration bill to help the Trump administration out of any place yet. Well, today, America's governor filed a study to look at the total elimination of property taxes statewide in Florida.
Wow. I'm going.
The measure could be accomplished by reducing local spending and or replacing revenue with a sales tax. Governor DeSantis supports it and is looking at it. A total elimination of property taxes statewide in Florida. 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B.
Have I told you how much I hate being cold?
More news coming up.
Florida's.
Haley H's husband has a birthday today.
Child of the King, $20 super chat. Hey, boys. Haley H's husband has a birthday today. Michael B. Happy birthday. Please shout him out.
Happy
Michael
birthday.
B.
Happy birthday.
And Haley H.
Happy birthday.
He's a good chatter.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Slick, do you want to sing to him?
Happy birthday to you. Hey, we love it.
Come from.
What side are you on? I'm getting
Exactly.
vibes again, Slick.
Yeah, vibes. Yeah, which side are you on? Chicken parmesan.
The resistance is strong.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to try to teabag tonight.
Excuse me?
Teabag?
The suggestions in the chat are
Isn't that what did it to your eye the first time?
Oh,
Oh,
the
you're talking
sty.
about your eye. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about a fun night out.
You could put
I
a
was like,
pig
what?
on it, Paul.
You're gonna
Be a
do what?
pigsty. Oh, boy.
Somebody said, who was it? Gillis?
I got a good one.
Giles? Somebody on YouTube said, I'll be 66 on Friday.
Ooh, happy
Wow.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, Big D on YouTube, Joe Wardolinsky, watching you
Yes,
guys in my
yes.
back porch smoking a stogie. Your kind of guy.
Oh, man. I'm a guy,
Your
man
kinda
after
guy.
my own heart right there.
Hey, did we get? We got
Tampa, Florida. Oh, he's liking that property tax in them all. Come on.
I'd be lighting one up for that idea, too.
Man, oh man, I'd be lighting up the house, man. Come
I
on.
can't find a second to light up for anything,
Yeah.
obviously.
Well, because it's still in
Yeah, since they're still in customs, it's help. But let's just say,
That's true.
like if they weren't in customs and
Right.
actually had them,
yes.
and they were in
Who
my
believes this
humidor.
custom story? I know I don't.
Shh, Paul, your eye must be affecting your brain. Relax.
Who in the chat is buying this story?
This is the Garsha Vega over here.
I still haven't found a second to smoke one.
I mean,
Yeah.
If they weren't in customs.
Big D.
he's calling up every minute.
Tipped off Tipperillo over here.
Well, by the way, where's that guy been in the chat? I haven't seen that guy in the chat. What's going on? Is he
Which
all right?
guy?
That guy.
Oh, that guy.
That guy.
Oh, that guy?
He's
That
sent
guy.
the Stokes, that guy. Who's on first?
I think he's hung up in customs too.
Yeah, he's held up
Might
with
be
the
hung
cigars.
up there with the cigars. They might have went after him, with the cigar shipment. Big D.
It could be.
Yeah, it could be. There might be an investigation.
It's against that.
U.S. Marine Corps loco smoking a fatty in Oregon. Hey.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night, February 19th. Real America's Voice and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. Welcome on in, everybody. Glad you're here. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's going to do some more news. Paul Nolan's here as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. And, of course, you live from Studio 6B audience. Glad you're in wherever you're watching or listening. We appreciate it. 8 to 10 weekdays, Monday through Friday. 8 to 10 p.m. Glad you're here. So let me quickly, before Delgado does some more news, Logan Washburn today, congressional Republicans must codify Trump's executive orders to make them permanent. And, of course, this is where, as I said, it's been great, the executive orders. Trump's been moving at Trump speed. The Democrats really have no idea what's going on. Can't find, we joke about the resistance. So you see what they're doing. Pretty ineffective. They can't get things to get legs when they try to find things to complain about. They don't work. We talked the other day about that. They try to launch into these, even Swalwell and these things about the plane. I mean, they just stoop to the lowest level always that they can. The gaslighting we see with Gayle King tonight, none of it is working. No one believes it. All the polls tell us that the majority of the American people are right there with the president. Cut the waste, find the fraud, find the abuse, find the kickbacks, find how these people got rich, find it all, tear it down to the ground, and start over. Howard Lutnick tonight says the president's goal is to establish the External Revenue Service, tariff, make everybody else pay to make us rich again, and get rid of the Internal Revenue Service. So that's the first time I've heard that actually said in public from somebody in the cabinet.
Think about how much more spending there will be without that federal tax.
Yeah.
And now think about the incentivization, how incentivized manufacturers will come back to the States. The innovation, the people will be working. You could build, communities everywhere with industry. It would just be, it's what it should be.
It would be an unleashing.
Yeah, it would
right? It would be an unleashing of the
that we've
economic
never
power.
seen before. That
It
we've
would
never
absolutely
seen
be.
before,
That would be
yes.
the perfect word, an unleashing of American ingenuity, strength, work ethic. It's everything this country should have been and should be, and it's been derailed on purpose by a bunch of criminals in D.C.
I mean, imagine the growth, imagine the GDP growth in the country. I mean, I heard Scott Bessent the other day talk about, I never really. He says, yes, I was in private equity for 35 years. So from the outside, I always looked at when they would say the CBO, they'd score it, the CBO score. He said, now that I'm here, even in the 3 short weeks I've been here, when you look at the way they cockamamie up these numbers, he said, basically, essentially to Bret Baier, he's like, they never factor in anything but other than like 1.8% growth. No, it never changes. Nothing could happen that it could be more. They never alter the number. It's always like 1.8%. He's like, well, where do they pull that number from?
They just make it up.
He's like, when I look at it, I see the growth more like the closer to 3. So he says this 1.8 number is just totally just a made up cockamamie number, which makes their score a cockamamie number. So could you imagine something like that lowering taxes, getting rid of taxes, lowering rates, lowering interest rates, unleashing American prosperity, unleashing American businesses, unleashing businesses wanting to actually do business in here. People wanted to actually do stuff, spend money, not worry about the burdensome of the government in every pocket of their lives, always looking for the next dollar, always, I mean, just, could you imagine? And then look at what we just reported in Florida, by the way. It only takes a couple strong-willed, strong-minded leaders to say, you know what, enough. Let's go back to what the founders actually wanted in this country.
You know, we live in such an upside-down world right now where the cutting back of military spending, the left can't stand. Free speech is a danger to the left. The left party is so far detached on these 80-20 issues that 80% of the world agrees with, and they just die on that 20% hill. And they just, all they do is just keep making themselves look more and more buffoonish. So to me, I just cannot see that party having any chance. The fringe left is just fizzling out. We're watching when a light bulb makes that last. That's it. That's what we're watching right now. Or when a person on their deathbed has that last moment of clarity to say goodbye, I love you, and they're moving on to the next other side. It's what we're watching. It's the end. It's an end of this wokeism. Common sense is going to have to come back.
Well, I think part of that has to do with what do you call it? When Elon said that we're the media now, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, because now you notice, as Damon was saying earlier, all these gaslighting things. Oh, he was accepting money from this. Oh, you can't trust him for that. All that stuff dies within hours now.
All the Kash Patel stuff they tried. Remember when they delayed the vote? Where'd all that go? Nowhere.
They delayed the vote. Literally 5 minutes later, he goes, I remember it was a Friday. He goes, oh, look, here's the story of why they delayed the vote. Well, there could have been money accepted.
Taking one more shot.
Right,
Let's just take one more shot, see if we can get something to get some traction, and maybe we can get them out.
Right. So I think part of that has to do with the media. And like you were saying, it just takes one or two to start something for it to snowball. It's like that. It's a video. Dan Bongino plays it a lot. It's about this dancing person, right? At this, music fest. It's one person dancing by himself, all crazy. People are laughing, pointing at him. Finally, somebody comes up and dances with him. Another person comes up and dances. Next thing you know, everybody's dancing with this guy. And that's hopefully what we're starting to see, this push of, getting everybody on the same page saying, you know what, you're right. The government is too big. They take too much money. They waste it all. And we can't trust them for anything. Why don't we go back to that old system? Because that seemed to be a pretty good party that everybody seemed to do well with.
And listen, you'll never get it in New York or Illinois or California or places like that. But you know what? They do this in Florida. There could be some other red state governors that look at what DeSantis is doing. I mean, I wish they'd been looking for the last soon to be 8 years and see what he's done, because a lot of them have not followed suit on a lot of the stuff he's pushed back on, which pushed back on everything that the left wanted to do. But maybe there'll be some others that try to do it in some other places. Yeah. Again, if we cannot make red states as red as they can make blue states blue, we have problems. Yes, we have this 4 years. Let's hope we have JD or we have somebody that takes us another 8 years in the presidency. But at some point, there's going to be another Democratic president, and the pendulum's going to swing back the other way. But this is what we always talk about. What happens in the states is why sometimes we focus on what's going on there. Focus on governors, focus on state legislatures, getting these supermajorities where we can, make these red havens for people to go and get away from the blue insanity that we're finding. And then whatever happens in Washington happens, but it's not going to affect you as much as what's going to affect you in these states.
Yeah. It needs to be decentralized. Washington does. Hey, speaking of senators and what's going on in Washington, you mentioned Kash Patel earlier. Senators are clashing over the FBI director pick ahead of the confirmation vote. The Senate floor action set for Thursday. You reported that earlier as well. Republicans and Democrats have sharpened their arguments over Kash Patel's fitness to lead the FBI, offering starkly different versions of the nominee ahead of the confirmation vote expected early Thursday.
He's the most fit and the most qualified.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley, in a floor speech, touched on Patel's experience, saying Patel has been a fighter for transparency in government and praised him as the right man at the right time. Mr. Patel's resume doesn't look like a normal one of an FBI director, but everybody knows in this Congress and maybe in the United States that we're not living in normal times, according to Grassley. Of course, the left have their own issues. One of which comes from Chris Murphy out of Connecticut, your buddy.
Oh, please.
Your buddy.
We're embarrassed for our
old high school
hometown.
buddy.
My old high school, not my high school buddy. He
Sister.
was 2 years behind me. He was in the same class as my sister.
Oh, God.
She's embarrassed for him, too.
Well, Chris Murphy was out screaming at the sky about Kash Patel. Here he is, cut number 5, and issuing what seems to be a threat, almost reminiscent of the threats they made against the Supreme Court and Chuck Schumer when he threatened Trump, saying, the intelligence community has 7 different ways from Sunday of getting back at you. Here's cut 5 with Chris Murphy's version. Check this out.
If you vote for Kash Patel more than any other confirmation vote you make, you will come to regret this one to your grave.
Oh, to your grave. Really?
I yield the floor.
Yeah, please do. Yield. How about yield your position? How about that?
Exactly.
How about you yield your position and go back to Connecticut and find something else to do? How about that? Why don't you yield that? What a jerk.
There is a chill in the swamp as they are really, really, really unhappy.
Yeah, what's he afraid of?
They're afraid of all this
funding. What's he hiding in his closet? He's worried Kash Patel might find out. I mean, when they get so desperate and they make speeches like that, you'll regret it to your grave? That's like a big red flag. Like, oh, don't look at me. Seems to me.
Right.
Who's the woman today said that Trump messed with the wrong bunch of lawyers? Another USAID employee, and who's been downsized, and it's these people have been living off the taxpayer dime for way too long. I'm so glad to see the comeuppance because these people have just rode the gravy train for free. I don't want to hear about you having to sell your $850,000 house just outside of D.C. I don't want to hear about you losing your job. I don't want to hear about it. Go cry to somebody else. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, the drama of all of it, though, like to that degree, you vote for this guy. First of all, he's way more qualified than Comey was. He's way more qualified than Chris Wray was, who Chris Christie pushed on us, and Trump didn't know any better at the time. Let's remember that. He's already fought the deep state, by the way, and won Kash Patel, remember, with the help of Devin Nunes.
And him.
Exactly.
He's way more qualified than the previous 2 directors.
He knows where all the dead bodies are.
And that's why they're
they are petrified.
Right. So even if you don't like him, to say if you vote for him, you'll regret it to your grave, the level of insanity with that statement, it almost is so far off the edge. It's like, wait, what else is actually going on here? Why are you pushing so hard to avoid this guy?
It's bizarre world.
Because
everything's opposite world.
Yeah, he knows where the bodies are buried. He already served 4 years and was going through everything, all the investigations into the Russia stuff. He knows who's involved.
Every bit of it.
And they know they're going to be losing. They probably know that there are going to be senators that are going to have to step down from their positions.
Without a doubt.
On both sides of the aisle.
Without a doubt.
So, you have that. And then, of course, Big Dick Durbin, the judiciary ranking member.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. That's way too complimentary.
Did I say it wrong?
It's little Dick Durbin.
So he's not Big Dick?
It's itty bitty Dick Durbin.
Little tiny
Dick Durbin. That's what we called him for years. What are you doing?
Durbin.
I don't know.
Don't change our names.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's his name.
To do that.
I'm going to call him Micro Durbin.
It's not big balls, it's tiny testes.
Right. Okay. So little tiny minuscule Dick Durbin said in a part of his floor speech, said it will be a political and national security disaster if he's confirmed. National security.
Oh.
Did you have
maybe a constitutional crisis?
Did you see Hochul today? We should talk about that in the next segment. That $9 surcharge just to drive through Manhattan. The bridges aren't enough. Robbing us through the bridges isn't enough.
Didn't they pass that? Didn't that already go into effect?
Yeah, Trump canceled it today.
It got canceled.
Oh, I get it.
He can't.
Did he cancel that?
Oh yeah.
Whoa! How did we miss that?
How does he cancel that?
I don't know, but he did.
It's not a state thing.
Well, it needs it needs approval from the federal government, so he just reversed the approval.
Right. That bridge goes down. The feds are involved, right? So they have a say on bridges. They definitely do.
All right, live from Studio 6B. We'll come back to wrap it up right after this.
They got Trump.
Well, you know what it is? I got it confused.
Big Dick Durbin. You can't whip out names like that.
I didn't mean. I got it confused. With Big Dick Black.
I mean, come on. Stop whipping out. You can't whip out names like that.
Too much.
I didn't mean to
flinging it
just
all over the place.
Yeah, I didn't mean to just throw
You
it
can't
around.
whip it out and fling names like that all around.
Sorry,
man.
I got it confused with Big Dick Black.
Man.
What is that?
That's a character from a movie.
Yeah, what kind of movie?
What kind of movies you watching?
The late night theater.
Scary enough, the movie was called Hardcore, but it starred George C. Scott.
Oh.
It's actually it's a good, you know the movie, Paul. You probably remember.
Oh boy, I can't wait to get a hot compress at a T-bit. Never mind. Someone said slice a potato and put it on that. I think they put me on.
Someone said, Paul, let's talk about your eye. I'm just glad you don't have hemorrhoids. well, that's another discussion for another day.
That would be brown eye.
Getting old is fun, isn't it, boys?
Oh, you beat me to it.
Getting old is fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to start fussing. I won't fuss.
Cut 2.
Kenya H says, Super Chat on YouTube.
Yeah, we should
Slick,
play
are we
it.
doing Slick's? I was trying to work on an opening for Slick's Super Chat Spotlights.
I wasn't sure
that's a good one.
if David
Super
had
Chat
it there
Spotlight.
that he was going to.
I hated it when I watched it after it was done, so I
The
tried.
last one I had is Child of the King on there. I had her, and that's the last Super Chat that I see tonight, Big D.
Okay.
I got her, and Child of the King. And who else did we get? That's
Don't
all I
forget
can
the
see.
Rumble rants.
The Rumble rant was nice. That was a nice one, too.
Yeah, there's been a few nice ones.
Mike Burry says, thanks for the laughs, guys.
Barking
we're glad
dogs
you're
cracking up.
Glad you're laughing.
Durbin.
Cindy Park says, oh my God, you guys are hilarious tonight. Great show. Thank you. It's our only goal every night is to try to make you laugh.
I would love nothing more than
only
to
goal.
have a
What else can
barbecue
we do?
with this chat. Everybody in this chat is cool. I think there's one person that's annoying, but that's only when Delgado chimes in.
Oh, did you have to go there?
I kid, I love you. I kid, I'd make a joke. I make joke to go crack up laugh.
Bring Nacho tomorrow night.
All right, Carl, I'm gonna try it. Whack some antibiotics on there.
Can we have chicken wings tomorrow night?
Go get some horse paste
chicken wings.
ivermectin.
We're
Maybe
doing
you
a
can
show
rub some
here.
ivermectin
No, I
on
mean
there.
for the hockey game.
Paul's bringing all American.
If he shows up, look at that eye.
13 to the hour live from Studio 6B. We're still arguing about the food for tomorrow night's show / USA hockey ass whooping
Showdown.
that we're going to put on Canada.
It's going to be
We
rough for
hope.
USA, man. I got a story coming up.
No, you got to be positive, Slick. Going in.
Chicken wings are
You
good.
don't look you don't look
I'm
positive.
nervous. A lot of sickness on the club. Paul touched on it a little bit earlier.
Positive.
I'm going to read the story.
Delgado wants to have nachos on American night here.
Hello. It's all American.
Paul's gonna bring-
Delgado is nacho choice.
Paul's
tomorrow
going to
night.
actually
Well, it is
bring.
now after the Biden administration.
Exactly.
Paul's going to bring All American. That's actually a burger joint we have out here. Pretty well known. All American.
Yeah, it was on Diners,
Massapequa?
dives
Yeah.
and drive-thrus.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
place. Notorious.
That is what's on the menu tomorrow night. Nothing
You gotta
else.
bring- you
They
gotta bring
still
fries,
get
too.
their beef from the same place for 70 years.
Wow.
So
I'm ashamed
by
to
the
say,
way,
I don't think I ever had their burger.
if you ever
Really?
seen the movie Born on the 4th of July, they actually film inside that their little establishment.
Yes, I know. Tom Cruise movie. That was
Yep.
great. Vietnam time.
All right, 12 minutes till the hour. Let's wrap it up here for a Wednesday night. Let's do a little bit of, I'll try to get to everybody here. Slick, I'll start with you. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. Give me a quick rundown here. What's going on?
Okay, quick sweep of the scoreboard. Big D NCAA Men's Division I basketball. Auburn right now, number 1 Auburn, taking on Arkansas, leading 26-21, 3 to go there in the first half. Then we have Alabama right now, a little bit of an upset in there. Number 15 Missouri, leading 45-28, 5 minutes to go in the first. I wouldn't panic too much. I'm sure the tide will start rolling in the second half. St. John's 29-20 over DePaul, 5 to go there in the first. With 2 to go in the first, Gonzaga over Washington State 39-24. Finals from earlier tonight, Kentucky over Vanderbilt 82-61. North Carolina whooped up on NC State 97-63. And West Virginia rounds it out with a 62-59 win over Cincinnati. NBA action, 10 p.m. Hornets at Lakers. No NHL action because we got a big game tomorrow night. And real quick, Paul talked about it earlier, but yep, Team USA hit by sickness bug, 24 hours out from high-stakes Four Nations final rematch with Canada. Disaster has struck. This is the Daily Mail. The USA camped just over 24 hours before the Four Nations face-off final against Canada. The Americans are set to clash with Canada once again Thursday in a rematch. However, Team USA has been rocked by sickness bug, with Coach Mike Sullivan forced to look to bring in reinforcements as the illness sweeps through the camp, according to Pierre Lebrun. The news comes after USA already lost Charlie McAvoy, who was reportedly sent to the hospital during his nation's loss to Sweden Monday. As for Wednesday, the 27-year-old is reportedly still hospitalized with the Boston Bruins' NHL team, ruling him out of Thursday's game. It has been suggested that Quinn Hughes, captain of the Vancouver Canucks, was waiting in the wings with Sullivan himself, telling reporters Tuesday that the defenseman was coming. But right now, Team USA has then been informed Wednesday that the 25-year-old would not be making the cross-country trip, was what you said earlier, Paul. But I don't know. Maybe they better call him back up and say, get here, because they got a bug now. They didn't say what kind of bug, a stomach bug, or is it the flu bug? I mean,
we know the flu. Look at Kevin Downey Jr., what he went through. The flu is brutal. Brutal.
Yeah, it floored Kevin for like 2 weeks. So, well, it's going to be a rough go, but this is how the Americans do it. They never do anything easy when it comes to sports. And, we're going to be praying for them even extra harder tomorrow night. And that's a wrap in sports.
We're going to need Connor Hellebuck to rock the net.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports
Amen.
Brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Paul, anything else on your radar tonight?
I just wanted to touch on the President Donald Trump slammed Ukrainian President Zelensky as a dictator without elections. And he said that the day after Zelensky had complained about the Ukraine not having a grown-up seat at the diplomatic talks between Russia and the States, Trump ripped into Zelensky in a lengthy Truth Social post, first addressing him as a modestly successful comedian. If you have not seen that rant, it was hysterical. But Trump did add that the United States has spent hundreds of billions more on the war than Europe has. And he said he said, according to his numbers, the U.S. has spent $350 billion, and he wants it back, so to speak, in resources. And that is it's kind of left Zelensky to maybe be a little bit humbled here. So he might want to pipe down and let the big boys talk.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
the president has been very strong the last couple of days.
But really
that's putting him in his place.
Nation has absolutely no say in the matter. You know, all the criminals, the neocons and the Dems like Newland and Obama and all these guys who had their hand in the cookie jar, all they did was play that beautiful piece of land at the expense of all those young men and women who were just slaughtered. So it's a joke.
At this point, don't we own Ukraine? I mean, we've been in charge, since 2014? When we toppled the government?
Yeah, right? But even it started really in 2002. But yeah, in 2014, that was... Yeah. That was that Maidan revolution.
Yep.
All right. I want to remind you before we do some last news with Delgado here that Rav will be covering CPAC, which I guess officially kicks off tomorrow. Although there was some things going on today. Steve Bannon did an event this morning, a force multiplier event. That's what he called it. I was trying to think of that name before. I couldn't think of it. But CPAC 2025 officially opens tomorrow. I believe J.D. Vance is going to officially open CPAC, and I think President Trump's going to speak at his normal Saturday afternoon spot. But Rav will be there, already there. Harry and Parker and the crew are already there. It's going to be great coverage, as always. I'm sure the booth will be extremely, extremely busy. New location for Real America's Voice this year. If you're at CPAC, make sure you find where Real America's Voice is. Go say hello if you're there. And then if you're not there, watch the network because they'll have coverage of it all 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I believe Sunday as well. So check that out. That officially kicks off tomorrow. Delgado, what else did we not hit in the news?
All right. Well, I know we were talking about this last couple days, but Donald Trump actually talked about it today. Here's cut number 2. Here he is considering giving a Doge dividend back to the American citizens. I know we've seen some numbers thrown around, $5,000 to $8,000, but here he is himself. Cut number 2. Check this out.
And saving taxpayers billions and billions of dollars every single day. And There's even under consideration a new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt, because the numbers are incredible, Elon. So many billions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions, and we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt and pay down debt, which is, if you look at value, if it were a real estate balance sheet, the debt is tiny, but we still want to pay it down. Doesn't matter. We don't look at it as a piece of real estate. It's America. We're going to get it down through intelligence, hard work, and, as Elon said, a word called caring. You have to care. By doing this, Americans will tell us where there's waste. They'll be reporting it themselves. They participate in the process of saving money. So many of the men and women in this room, as an example, they pay tremendous amounts of taxes. And here are just a few examples of where your money was going before I came along. These are just some of the, just taken at random. Oh, there are much worse examples than this. I was just looking at them before the speech, and I can tell you they were much worse. And there are some that are horrible, but I don't want to really say them because they're very, very embarrassing to people. Very, very embarrassing.
Oh, so what is he alluding to there? I guess we'll find out as more of this stuff starts to come to light. Yeah. And lastly, on the money front, speaking of President Trump, here he is talking about the cryptocurrency industry and how he's committed to making America the crypto capital of the world. Check this out. Cut 7.
Points, and Bitcoin has set multiple all-time record highs because everyone knows that I'm committed to making America the crypto capital. We want to stay at the forefront of everything, and one of them is crypto, and Miami seems to be the center of the action, come to think of it, and maybe it'll stay there.
Yeah, so there you have it. A couple things in terms of money and finance and taxes you were talking about earlier. Just a lot going on with President Trump getting us up to speed.
As always, we salute our military, active and active, emergency personnel, firefighters, police, everybody who keeps us safe. Thanks, everybody on the show. Aaron and Fran, great job as always. But most of all, thank you to Live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. It's going to be a big night. USA Hockey going for the championship. We'll be here to watch it. And, of course, bring you the news of the day as well, live from Studio 6B. We'll see you then.